Hi, Randy.
Hi. Before we start, I'm going to send this text.
Yeah, go for it.
What's up? It's me. I'm Blain. I'm talking. I'm doing a good job of it.
My name is Tim Stapleton, and I am the history teacher, social studies.
I'm Olga Brindar. I am the art teacher. I teach drawing and painting and conceptual art, and I also teach art history courses and some literature. Basically, I can't stay in my lane.
My name is Sid. I'm the science teacher here at City of Bridges.
I'm Randy Bartlett. I'm the head of school and founder here at City of Bridges.
I'm Brett Moore. Sometimes when I'm feeling fancy, I'm Dr. Brett Moore. I'm the English teacher and the assistant head of school at City of Bridges.
I am the math teacher as well as the director of technology, which means I fix the Wi-Fi and the printer sometimes.
What kind of hobbies do you have?
I love to spend time in nature, particularly as the weather has become more spring-like, and finding wildflowers and things like that.
I am trying to get back into running, which I did all through grad school and really liked doing. And I signed up for the Pittsburgh Half Marathon and then didn't train for it. So
I'm a really big avid traveler, so I try to get outside of the country to new parts of the world whenever I can. And I have a 2-year-old son that takes up a lot of my time.
Well, right now I am pursuing a latent dream of mine, which is to perform on stage. It's one of the few art mediums I've never attempted or tried, so I'm deep in the throes of rehearsal for a musical.
In addition to playing games, I really like to watch movies and TV. And
What kind
listen,
of movies?
all kinds.
Okay.
I love movies. I love going to the movies. It's one of my favorite activities. I also listen to a lot of music, and I collect vinyl. And so I have a pretty large record collection, and it's growing.
I love gardening, which is my biggest summer hobby.
Do you have any hidden talents?
Hidden talents.
I don't know if they're hidden. I think I'm just pretty all-around talented.
I'm really good at making friends with animals. I feel like they know that I like them the most, so they just tend to relax around me. And whenever I go to a foreign country and there are stray dogs, they all tend to beeline straight to me for belly rubs.
I'm pretty good at impressions, right?
Ooh,
I was making fun of Sid. I was doing a Sid impression where I was just like, heard.
Oh, yeah.
I can immediately spell and pronounce just about any word backwards. I always use ambulance as one, right? Ambulance is a pretty big word, right? But backwards, it would be Asnalyubma. For instance, your name backwards would be Oatnip Anna. Your first name is a palindrome.
Because it's, yeah.
Yeah, but your last name is not a palindrome. I'd be Naudalpats Itamat.
Can you say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?
No, that's
You gotta
that's
learn how to do it.
Anytime people find out about that I can do this thing, they're always like, "Can you do supercalifragilisticexpialidocious?" It's like, "Oh wow, you're funny. Nobody's ever thought of that before."
I can do tongue twisters. I have a can opener that can open any can. Any can opener that can open any can open. If you have a can opener that can open any can that my can opener can open, then you have a can opener that can open any can. Flubbed it a little bit there, but...
Do you have any pet peeves?
I hate inefficiency. And I hate, clutter. I hate mess.
It drives me bonkers when you're driving and you have a green light and the people, you're turning left and the people crossing the street have a red no walk hand, and they walk anyway. Yeah. Because my thought is when they have a white walk hand or a Walkman, I don't ignore my red light and run them over. And so when they have a red walk hand, they shouldn't ignore it. And then I have to wait.
People who chew with their mouth open, that's a big pet peeve for me. I can't do it. And I feel like my friends all know this, and whenever there's more than 2 people chewing, somebody will just put music on, and I'm like, thank you.
Throughout my career, I have had this theory that students specifically wait until the worst opportune times to decide, now I should sharpen my pencil.
Yesterday I had a run-in with a really aggressive driver who like yelled at me and like rolled down the window and then like backed up his car to come back and yell at me. So I think aggressive driving would be on the top of my list today.
The number one pet peeve for me is when there's something stuck in my teeth. Because of that, I usually carry floss on me. So like I have flossers in my car. I have one in every coat that I own. I am never more than like 100 feet away from a flosser.
Do you have a favorite musical artist?
Americana remix of the song Hit 'Em Up Style. It's so good. It's by the Carolina Chocolate Drops.
Okay.
I'm in my musical era right now, and I really, really love Chicago. There's this song in it that's like, he had it coming, he had it coming.
The whole culture and community around the fans known as the Deadheads is something that's like truly significant in rock and roll history, to the extent that like they changed the game in a lot of ways. This incredibly close and unique relationship between the band and their fans that actually created the whole sort of like idea of intense fans following and creating a community amongst themselves that subsequent bands have really kind of emulated.
You know, some solo stuff, Jason Molina, and then Songs of Haya, and then Magnolia Electric Company. I mean, it's like beautiful and lyrically amazing, but sort of melancholy. So it's not the cheeriest, but I think it's... So I've been listening to his music now for, gosh, that's scary, like almost 30 years. So
incredibly talented musicians. Well, I mean, I think the low-hanging fruit is Jerry Garcia, the greatest guitarist of all time. Favorite song is Terrapin Station. You heard that song?
Yeah.
You're just agreeing with me.
No, I
I got you. All right, that's cool. Yeah.
I feel like my Spotify like recommends white noise to me almost exclusively because I mostly listen to it to go to sleep. So it's like they're like, I know what you like, fan noises.
Yeah.
One of the greatest tragedies of my life is that I never got to actually see Jerry Garcia or the Grateful Dead.
My favorite musical artist that's currently still making music would be Vulfpeck. Vulfpeck. And they're like a group of like very talented musicians who make really, really funky and fun songs. And then I also love Steely Dan,
Which in itself is almost unprecedented in the music industry. But even after Jerry Garcia died tragically in 1995, the community of Deadheads that I had mentioned earlier had grown so strong that even without Jerry, there was an incredible call for this community and this scene to continue. So the subsequent members have continued to tour and perform the music just out of respect. They've never been called themselves the Grateful Dead without Jerry. So I've never gotten to see the original band, but I've gotten to see the subsequent versions of the band, now going on 100 times.
Out of all of your colleagues at City of Bridges, who would you want to be stranded on an island with?
I have a feeling Blain would be pretty resourceful in terms of survival on a stranded island. And his knowledge of like math and angles would probably come in handy.
Sid. Because with Sid's like herbalism and like gardening classes and stuff, I feel like Sid could figure out how to like produce food that we need to not die.
I gotta just go Brett.
Okay.
Brett is my ride or die. And it would make the most sense that Brett and I would end up stranded there together. We'd be on a boat together.
I think I would have the most fun being stranded with Blain. Like, I think that would be hilarious. I think Randy would be the most, like, resourceful, like, if we're trying to get off the island.
100% Randy. Randy is not afraid to be outdoors. He's resourceful. He's generally very positive. And I feel like we would never run out of conversation or things to learn from each other.
Olga's got like the most energy, and I think that would be useful because I think that's a resource I'm running out of quickly.
How does it feel being the only human teacher?
Everybody that I work with is really lovely, and I feel like they're all like experts in their field and like very knowledgeable. I did feel a little bit thrown into it. School environment is very different from like the school environment that I came from. And I was a little bit overwhelmed at first, but now that I've relaxed into it, it's really nice.
Peyton, catch!
We started small with a small group of kids playing Ultimate Frisbee this past year, and they seem to have really had a good time. I had a good time.
Right here, Tim, right here, right here. Boom, let's go. Touchdown.